So what would happen if we all just got rid of all of our disclaimers? Just threw them out the window. Hey guys, happy Friday. Welcome back to Fearless Fridays. Today is Friday, October 16th. This is episode 70 of Fearless Fridays. And as always, I welcome you to the show, whether it's your first time watching or if you're a return watcher, welcome. So listen, have you ever been in a situation, and I already know the answer to this question is going to be yes, but just go with me. Have you ever been in a situation where you knew that whatever it was you were about to embark upon, whatever it was you were about to do, you knew that it wasn't going to go well for any variety of reasons? Either you weren't prepared for it, or your heart just wasn't in it, or you just weren't ready for whatever reason. Have you ever been in a situation where you knew that you weren't ready, you knew that you weren't prepared, you knew that this thing was not going to turn out well, you weren't going to be able to give a great performance, or you weren't going to be able to show up fully in this moment and rise to the occasion? And rather than just like diving in and going for it anyway, you start to give your disclaimers. You start to say, well, I'm here and I'm going to do this, but it's probably not going to go well because of A, B, C, D, X, Y, Z. Just a whole list of reasons, a whole list of excuses, a whole list of disclaimers why this was not going to go well. We've all been in that situation. We've all been that person where we felt like we need to preface whatever it is that we're about to do with a disclaimer because we know it's just probably not going to go well. I'm wondering what would happen if we all just got rid of our disclaimers. What if we all just stopped doing that? What if you stopped doing that? A lot of times we do that, again, like I said before, because we know that the outcome is not going to be great. Either we didn't prepare ourselves well enough, so we know that we're literally not prepared to do whatever it is that we're about to do, or depending on the situation, we know that we're not good enough for whatever it is. We're not good enough. We're not going to rise to the occasion because we don't have the capability to do so. Or we just know that our heart's not in it. And because our heart is not in it, our full energy can't be in it. And if our full energy can't be in it and our heart can't be in it, it's not going to be great. It's not going to go well. We give these disclaimers, and what these disclaimers do is they prepare the other person or the other party to lower their expectations. They prepare that other party to not expect much from you. They prepare the other party to be aware that whatever the outcome is, it's not going to be good. It's not going to be great. It's not going to blow my mind. It's just going to happen, and it's going to be kind of meh. And that's what we're doing. And sometimes we're doing that consciously because we're thinking in our mind, I don't want them to expect something great from me because this is not going to be great. But what's even worse, and I think what's even more damaging, is when we give those disclaimers unconsciously because of a lack of confidence. We don't have confidence within ourselves that what we're about to do is going to go well. We don't have confidence that it's going to be great. We don't have confidence that we're great. We don't have confidence that they're going to receive it or love it or accept it or want it. We're not confident within ourselves. And so we give these disclaimers so that everybody who is listening will just lower their expectations. But what's damaging about that is, first of all, I personally think it's damaging to train people to have a low expectation of you. That's just my own thing. I know a lot of people say, you should lower your expectations so that you're not disappointed. We could go back and forth on that. Personally, I don't want to train anyone to expect a low thing from me. I don't want to train anyone to expect little from me. I don't want to train anyone to lower their expectations as soon as they see me walk in the room. I personally don't want to do that. That's just me. But I think also what that does when we give these disclaimers out of a lack of confidence, we train ourselves to not rise to the occasion. And we train ourselves to be okay with not rising to the occasion. And I think that's even more damaging. I think it's one thing if you know it's not gonna be great and you're like, let me warn these people because this is not gonna be great. So I'm gonna warn the people. That's one thing. But if you are constantly giving disclaimers unconsciously out of a lack of self-confidence because you within yourself do not believe that you are able to rise to the occasion, that is very, very damaging to yourself. Not only does it tell other people and train other people to expect very little from you, but you train yourself to be okay with not showing up. You train yourself to know that, okay, I'm going to give what little energy I have to this, but I know I'm not going to show up. I know that I'm not fully prepared. I know that I don't think I'm good enough. I know that I'm not going to rise to the occasion. So let myself off the hook and just go ahead and give this disclaimer. And I'm giving the disclaimer to everyone else who's listening, but I'm also giving the disclaimer to myself. And I think that's so damaging. I think that's so damaging. What would happen if instead of speaking a disclaimer out of a lack of self-confidence, what if you decided to fully show up? What if you decided to fully dive into whatever it is that you've decided you're going to do? What would that look like? What would that look like for you? Because in reality, if you're giving a disclaimer out of a lack of confidence and then you go ahead and you do whatever it is and it doesn't work out well and then you're like, I knew it wasn't going to be great. Eventually that wears on you. That rips away. If your confidence is already low, that is going to rip away at your confidence even more. Because you then within yourself know that you didn't show up fully. You know that you set yourself up for failure. You know that within yourself, even if other people don't know that. You know for yourself, within yourself, I did not have the confidence to really dive into this and see this through. I was too afraid for whatever reason to dive into this and see this through. And it didn't turn out well, and I knew it wasn't going to turn out well, and that's just me. I lack self-confidence. I didn't dive in. I never dive in. It didn't turn out well. Things never turn out well. And that is the narrative that starts to build and play inside of you. So again, I ask, what would happen if we all got rid of our disclaimers? What if we decided that if we were going to do something, we were going to dive fully into it? Dive into it head first, give it all you got, do everything you need to do to make sure that this thing goes as well as it can go. And that doesn't mean you're always going to smash it out of the park. That doesn't mean that it's always going to be perfect. That doesn't mean that it's always going to turn out the way you wanted it to turn out. But what it does mean is that you can be confident within yourself, knowing that you gave it all you had. You can be confident and sure within yourself because you know that you gave it 100% of yourself. You gave it 100% of yourself. And okay, it didn't work out, but I know I did everything I could do. And I think sometimes that is the fear. I think sometimes the fear is if I throw myself into this thing 100% and it still doesn't work out, what does that say about me? That means I gave all I had to this and it still doesn't work out. And then you interpret that as a failure. But it's not a failure. Sometimes things work, sometimes things don't. There are all kinds of factors that go into that. But if you give it your all, if you throw away the disclaimer, give it your all, fully, truly show up, then you know that you did all you can do. And you can walk away from the situation. No matter how it turns out, you can walk away from it with your head held high because you know, I gave this thing everything. And if it didn't work out, maybe it wasn't meant to be. But it not working out is not a judgment on your skill, your ability, your commitment. It's not a judgment on those things. Something not working out, it just didn't work out. Maybe it wasn't meant to be. But you know you gave your all to it. You know you did everything you possibly could do. You know you prepared yourself as much as you possibly could to the best of your ability. You know you showed up fully. You know you committed to it. You know you dove into it. You know you gave it every single thing you had. You know you gave it everything you could give to it. And you can walk away with your head held high because of that. Because you know that there is no failure in your commitment. You know that there's no failure in your showing up. There is no failure in your preparation. There is no failure in what you gave. There's no failure within you. There's no failure in that. So, again, I ask, what would happen if we got rid of our disclaimers? If we stopped giving ourselves and other people, if we stopped asking them to lower their expectations, using the disclaimer to ask people to lower their expectations. What if we did that? And what if we just showed up and gave it all we had, and we were able to be confident in the fact that we know we gave it all we had? What if we got rid of the disclaimers? What if you got rid of your disclaimers? Think about it, because sometimes we give these disclaimers and we don't even know that we're giving them. But when you find yourself in a situation where you don't fully feel confident, you don't feel like you're going to be able to pull through for whatever reason, rather than start preparing people for your failure and preparing yourself for your failure, what if you said, you know what? I'm here. I'm going to give it all I got. I'm going to give it every single thing I have. I'm going to push, and I'm going to put 100% of my effort into this thing, and we're going to see what happens. No disclaimers, no preparing people for your failure, no preparing yourself for your failure. Just show up, dive in, go for it. So that's what I want to share with you this week. Think about your disclaimers. Think about especially the unconscious disclaimers. Think about what you say before you start doing something that you don't feel fully confident about. Think about it. Think about what you say, and catch yourself if you can. Catch yourself when you talk to other people. Catch yourself when you're in the moment before whatever it is that you're about to do, and knowing how you feel, especially if you feel unconfident, knowing how you feel, and catch what you say in the moment before. And if it's a disclaimer, think about it. Why am I offering that disclaimer? Why am I already giving it an excuse? Why am I already telling people to lower their expectations, to expect me not to rise to the occasion? Why am I telling myself to be okay with not rising to the occasion? Ask yourself, what are my disclaimers? And what's the root of them? Ask yourself. So that's what I want to share with you guys this week. Whew. As always, fear stupid, get out in the world, live, love, go to be, and throw away the disclaimers, but also examine them and see where they're coming from. What's the root? I'll talk to you guys next week. Bye-bye.